It was 1950 when the class of Walker Grant School, high school, they were supposed to have a celebration and do the honors of their graduation exercise at Dorothy Hart. But when they got there, they were turned around and said, "You can't come in." Why? It wasn't said, but it was obvious because of the color of their skin.
Yeah.
And then, in a change of heart with Dorothy Hart, a change of heart, they said, "You can come in, but you have to come in through the side door. The color of your skin prevents you from coming in the front door." And they said, "We will not accept second-class treatment." And that class, along with local leaders like late pastor Dr. B.H. Hester here and Dr. Wyatt, a local dentist, and other adults, led them to walk from Dorothy Hart, which is about 3 miles, to where we are now at Shiloh Baptist Church Old Site. They were more determined to walk and speak with their feet and say, "No, we will not accept second-class citizenry and treatment." They were very courageous. And mind you, it's 1950. 1950. As a novice historian, especially as it relates to civil rights, 1950, this is 5 years before the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955.
I never put that together.
Right. This is 5 years before the gruesome, terrible murder of Emmett Till in Mississippi. This is 10 years before the black students at North Carolina A&T, and it spread like wildfire to other historical black colleges and universities where students said, "We are here getting an education to better our lot in society," but they were reminded of what Scripture teaches, and that is, to whom much is given, much is required. That's 1960. Wonderful events, or things that were propelled and springboarded from those events. Yet in 1950, here in Fredericksburg, these students from Walker Grant had the audacity, the unmitigated gall to say, "Hell no, we will not be treated as second-class citizens, and that needs to be celebrated."
Yeah.
I had a chance to talk with the mayor and the vice mayor about it, and yes, there's a marker down at Dorothy Hart. The Smithsonian and Mr. Sonny Holmes locally and others talked this story up, would not let it get buried. They talked it up and they pushed it until finally they got the recognition it needed. And so there is a marker as we speak at the Dorothy Hart Community Center, which is wonderful. But as a native of Alabama near Selma, the famous march is Selma to Montgomery for voters' rights. And my father and my uncle and other relatives were part of that movement. It started in Selma, it ended in Montgomery. The march started at Dorothy Hart, it concluded here at Shiloh Old Site. And so a marker needs to be put here. So ultimately that is our goal, to place a marker here. And ultimately we want this story to be told everywhere people love freedom and equality. And so the first Saturday in June, this is supposedly and hopefully the first of many that generations to follow will remember the Walker Grant class of 1950. We owe them a great debt. All of Shreveport, all of Fredericksburg owes the Walker Grant class. It made the place a better place for all of us. Aren't we better because of integration? Aren't we better because we no longer fully judge people by the color of their skin? And we have a lot of work to be done, but at similar events like that in 1950, they could have been shot. They could have been killed. They could have been ostracized. Yeah. They could have been blackballed from getting jobs and that kind of thing. But they didn't mind any of that. They were willing to put all of that on the line. And so we celebrate them. And there's a word that has often been used, especially in South Africa by Bishop Tutu and by Mandela and others, Ubuntu. Ubuntu means I am because of you. We are because of the Walker Grant class of 1950. And we're going to celebrate them. And ultimately we celebrate them not just with the march, but we celebrate them by having that same spirit of wherever we see injustices, wherever we see people being mistreated, that we will join the forces to help them, because that's what it's all about. That's what it means to me to be human.
and to be part of that walk. And I guess we all can be part of that walk
Yes.
on Saturday.
Absolutely. We will gather at 9:30. We'll start at 10. There will be hopefully some persons who are part of the walking grant class will be there. They won't be expected to walk. And anybody who does not have the capacity to walk or does not want to walk, just come and start with us and get in a vehicle and come in about an hour to meet us here. We're going to walk the 3 miles, some of us. And if there are persons who want to start to walk, there will be vehicles along the route that will come by and say, well, I started out walking. I want to go on over to the church. And so we're there, and we have people there. We have the police and other persons there to make sure things are well. We'll have water available so that no one will dehydrate, and just come and be a part of it. We invite all of Fredericksburg, all of the region, everybody who loves freedom, justice, and equality. Please come and join us as we celebrate this marvelous, magnificent move made by the Walker Grant class of 1950 to make the world a better place for all of us.
And I'm sure for all of us to walk that walk is quite the experience.
Yes, yes. I mean, it fits the old adage to really, literally walk a mile in someone else's moccasins or shoes. To think about, as we walk, think about what it was like, the fear that would they make it to the church, what they might encounter along the way, what might be said, what might be done, dogs and bullets even. None of that was off the table. But yet, in spite of knowing what was a possibility in terms of a negative consequence, they were willing to put their lives on the line. And we owe them, all of us, black and white, red and yellow, all the people of Fredericksburg who profited from being here as citizens, as we all are. It's a better place because of the Walker Grant class of 1950.